Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the August 2025 City Development Delegated Committee meeting. I am Councillor Bernadette Thomas. I'm the Deputy Mayor and the Chair of Council's City Development Delegated Committee, and I declare the meeting open at 6:32. And on behalf of Council, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung and Boon Wurrung Bunurong peoples of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to elders past and present.
Just Bernadette Thomas.
Thank you. Sorry, we have our very own special mics. So this is my mic now, that's good. So I'd just like to advise the gallery that the meeting is being recorded and will be available on Council's website. All care is taken to maintain your privacy, however your presence may be recorded. And in accordance with Council's governance rules, meetings may not be photographed, filmed or recorded without the consent of the Chief Executive Officer. And have there been any requests to record the meeting?
No requests, Chair.
Okay, thank you. I advise that tonight there are no apologies for the meeting. And in accordance with the Local Government Act 2020, do any councillors have a conflict of interest in relation to any of the agenda items? No? Great. Now, we would ordinarily move to public question time, but can CEO confirm that we don't actually have any public questions?
No public questions, Chair.
Okay, that's
no public
unusual.
Questions.
Okay, so we'll move to the confirmation of the minutes. So agenda item 5.1 is confirmation of the minutes 27th of May 2025, and I call for a councillor to move a motion. Councillor Semra?
That the City Development Delegated Committee confirms the minutes of the City Development Delegated Committee meeting held on 27th of May 2025.
Thank you, and I call for a councillor to second the motion. Councillor Lamb? Second time lucky. Thank you, councillor. I will now put the motion to the vote. Councillors, please cast your votes. And the motion is carried. So we'll now move to the officer reports, and I see we've got a few people in the gallery for these tonight, so thanks for coming along. So agenda item 6.1, amendment to planning permit TP 635/2017 brackets 6, 11 to 13 and 17 Whitehall Street, Footscray. CEO, are there any requests to address the committee in relation to this item?
Yes, we do have two. Could I start by inviting Paul Lewis on behalf of Tract Consultants to address the committee for a maximum of 3 minutes.
Right.
Thank you, Mayor and Councillors, for the opportunity to speak tonight.
Sorry, Paul, just to tick. I think we need some technical help so people at home can hear you.
Sure.
Oh, there we are. You're right. You're on. Ready to go.
We're on?
Yes.
Great. Let's take it again. Thank you, Mayor and Councillor, for the opportunity to speak tonight on behalf of the applicant. My name is Paul Lewis. I'm a Principal Town Planner at Tract Consultants, acting on behalf of Assembled Communities, the permit holder. I'm sure it's a bit of deja vu for some of you hearing me tonight present in support of this application after we were last here, or back in the chamber in February 2024, and I expect my submission tonight is likely to add to that. As I said at the time, this is a project that Tract are incredibly proud to represent, not least because of the contribution that it will make to addressing our current housing affordability crisis. The current amendment before you reinforces and expands on this contribution through its commitment to deliver 124 of the dwellings as social housing to be managed by Homes Victoria. Assemble also maintains its commitment to deliver 40% of the total dwellings as affordable housing, inclusive of these social housing dwellings. To achieve this, the amendment proposes to increase the height of Building C, located in the site's southwest corner, by approximately 1 storey. Again, as in the original application, the application process we've gone through with council officers has been exemplary. We thank and commend all of the officers who've assisted for their timely advice and comments in relation to the proposal from pre-application meetings through to now, and their recognition of the substantial community benefit the proposed changes will deliver. From a planning perspective, the proposal continues to align with the approved development plan. The additional height proposed has been sensitively designed by JCB Architects to avoid any negative impacts on the surrounding streetscape and will continue to provide a high quality and contextually responsive architectural design outcome. All in all, this is a project that will meaningfully contribute to maintaining the incredible social diversity that makes Footscray unique. Once again, we commend the council officers for their support of this application and respectfully request the council support the officer's recommendation. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Paul. Councillors, are there any questions of the presenter? Sorry, before you run away, just in case. Sorry, I did just spring that on you. Sorry. Any questions? No? Okay.
Take it again.
Thank you. And see, I think we have a second.
We do. I'd like to invite Chris Daff on behalf of Assemble Communities to address the committee for a maximum of 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, councillors and officers. Yes, I'm Chris Daff. I'm Managing Director of Assemble Communities, the developer of the project in Whitehall Street. I just wanted to go across a few points. In this project now, as a result of this change, it's almost sort of gone, full 360. I remember early discussions with the officers at City of Maribyrnong looking for us to actually do a sort of component of social housing, and I think where we've landed now with our ability to partner with the Victorian Government and deliver over 120 homes for in partnership with them, allow them to execute their public housing renewal program by relocating tenants out of old dilapidated towers onto our site, something that we're really excited about. This is not something new for Assemble. Most of our rental communities, or the vast majority of our rental communities, have components of social and affordable housing within them, so we're really excited about this change and being able to accommodate the Victorian Government and their households within the asset. And two, I'd like to reiterate some of the things that Paul said right from the very beginning since we acquired this land. The engagement and the process with the city and the officers has been exemplary. We have varying experiences all around Melbourne, and I think this has been a really good process. And I think the result of it too, for everyone's hard work, we've got 3 cranes up on the site already. We're building the housing. It'll be finished in about 1.5 years, 2 years. And now, as a result of this change and hopefully your support, we'll be able to accommodate 124 households that find housing really hard on the site, which is, I think, a fantastic outcome for the site and the sort of Footscray community more generally. So thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Councillors, any questions of Chris? No? Thanks very much.
Thank you.
So I now call for a councillor to move a motion. Councillor Yengi.
All right. That the City Development Delegated Committee issue an amended planning permit for the construction of multi-level mixed-use buildings containing dwellings as of right use and retail premises, a reduction in the car parking requirements and alterations of access to a road in a Transport Zone 2 at 11-13 and 17 Whitehall Street, Footscray, subject to conditions contained in Attachment 1, that the City Development Delegated Committee delegate to the Manager, City Development, the authority to settle any matter before the Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal which may arise as a result of the issuing of this planning permit.
Thanks, councillor. Do I have a councillor to second the motion? Councillor Meredith, sorry.
Formally second.
Thank you very much.
Formally moved.
No, you moved it. You read it out. That's good. So would the mover like to speak to the motion?
Formally moved.
Great, thank you. And the seconder like to speak to the motion?
I need to say that I appreciate the 124 extra social housing in the area, and I think it's good to see the extra housing.
Thanks, councillor. Would any other councillors like to speak to the motion?
Yeah, I'm just also glad to see affordable housing being included and in such a strategic location close to other amenities, and I'm glad to see the development progressing on site, because we don't want to see more sites sitting empty. So I'm looking forward to seeing the mixed use and hopefully a lot of really good public amenity for existing residents as well as new residents.
Thanks, councillor. Any other councillors like to speak to the motion? I'll just say a couple of things because Councillor Lamb and I were here when the original planning permit was approved, and I know we had some very long conversations about what affordability means, and I know that you've got, your 40% affordable housing as part of the permit application, but it's really good to see that that will be enhanced with the extra 124 social housing units. So I'm really glad that you were able to bring that to us. It's also good to hear that you've had a good experience working with our council officers, and for anyone who might want to know a little more about how the additional units sort of work from a planning sense, there's a whole lot of conditions in here which the applicants assemble have to sort of make good on, and that's about entering into arrangements with a suitable social or community housing provider in Homes Victoria. So that will all be set under the new planning permit. So I think this is a really good outcome for our community. So, councillors, I'll now put the motion to the vote. Oh, sorry. You want to speak to it? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate what all the other councillors said. I think this is a great example of sensible development. I think, as our community grows, as the population grows, it's important to manage growth with affordability and ensure that the families who've lived here can continue to live here, and we open up for more people to come and experience Melbourne and keep affordability at a good pace.
Thanks, Councillor Semra. So, councillors, I now put the motion to the vote, so please cast your votes. And the motion is carried. Thanks, everyone. So now move to agenda item 6.2, planning permit application TP30-/2025 brackets 1 40 to 44 Robs Road, West Footscray. And the CEO, we have someone who's going to present to us tonight.
Yes, thank you, Chair. We have one person, Luke Chamberlain, on behalf of Tract Consultants to address the committee for a maximum of 3 minutes.
Luke, could you just push the little button on the right? Good, thank you.
Many thanks, Councillor. Thank you, councillors, for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm representing the applicant for the proposal at Robs Road and speaking in favour of the officer's report. Councillors, this is an application that has drawn a little bit of attention from the community, which we understand and totally respect. It's an application, as outlined in your officer's report, for buildings and works. It's not attached to any intended use of the land, and it's notable to point out that the question of the use of the land was teased out during the application process, and an existing use right certificate has been issued. That's referred to in the officer's report and was pending, and that indeed was received in the last 24 hours. We thank the officers for their attention to this application and for the drafting of a very good report. I'll make the point that our client has acquired this land in recent times. The site at Robs Road, I think, is well known to the council. Existing warehouses that have been in operation for more than 50 years. Our opinion is that there's a really strong benefit provided through some minor alterations to these buildings. It's going to enable it to be more fit for purpose, to continue on its existing use. And there's in fact also some really beneficial qualities, including the opening up of some windows to Hanson Reserve on the west side, and some improved finishes and paintwork. So it will look particularly improved to the eye, and it will continue to operate in a manner that fits very well within the existing community. We commend it to you and thank you for your time.
Thanks, Luke. Councillors, were there any questions of Luke? No? Thanks very much. So a call for a councillor to move a motion. Councillor Pereira?
That the City Development Delegate Committee issue a notice of decision to grant a permit to carry out the works to a building in an industrial 3 zone at 40 to 44 Robbs Road, West Footscray, subject to conditions contained in Attachment 1. And note the delegation of the Manager City Development to settle any matter before the Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal which may arise as a result of issuing this planning permit.
Councillors, I call for a councillor to second the motion. Councillor Tiwari. Are there any questions or points of clarification, councillors? No. Would the mover like to speak to the motion?
I'm hoping that this will actually be a positive change to the area and will contribute to improved streetscape along Robbs Road. I was probably a bit disappointed to see a lack of detail around the landscaping, but I understand that that's part of the recommendations included here. So I'm hoping that you'll integrate some really nice interface, because it's an important approach to Hanson Reserve, as you reflected, and I think that will be a really good contribution for the future use of the building, but also the local residents.
Would the seconder like to speak to the motion?
Yeah. I just wanted to thank firstly the local community who came out, to voice their concerns. I think there was over 15 or 20 objections, and they came out, whether it was through lodging formal objections or attending the planning forum or just simply seeking more information. And I'm glad that community is coming out, addressing their concerns, and also wanted to thank the applicant, Luke and team, for being available and consulting with the residents, and they're addressing their ongoing concerns. And at the end of the day, we wanted to commend the officers for bringing this report back to us. So thank you for all involved.
Thanks, Mayor. So would any other councillors like to speak to the motion? Councillor Meredith?
Yeah, I would just echo what Councillor Pereira said, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the enhanced aesthetic and some of the planting there as well. I'd love to see a bit more of that, which will help for the community.
Thanks, councillor. And I might just add a couple of comments as well. We all know that this existing development or warehouse, no, it's not a warehouse, building, backs into that small pocket of the residential area on Robbs Road and surrounding, and we've got a very nicely active community around there. So I'm not surprised that we did receive 20-odd submissions to the application, but my reading of what's been proposed, I agree that I think it will make the interface between the building and the residential area a little more aesthetically pleasing. The conditions around the landscaping, will make sure that it's a little bit screened, but also it fits in with the rest of the landscaping, I think, that's down the other end of Robbs Road, and as Councillor Pereira said, that entryway into Hanson Reserve. So thanks to the community for raising their queries, and also to the applicant for working with our officers to get what I think is a good outcome here. So councillors, I'll now put the motion to the vote, so please cast your votes. And the motion is carried. Thanks, everyone. So we'll now move to councillor question time. Before I read it out, are there any questions, councillors? No? Okay, so I'll close councillor question time. Councillors, are there any items of urgent business? No? Okay, so we'll go to confidential business, but there are no items of confidential business? No. Okay, thank you. And I'll now declare the meeting closed at 6:51. Thank you, everybody.